There is a taste from your childhood that you will literally never experience again. Not because your memory is playing tricks on you, not because you just haven't looked hard enough, not because it never really existed, but because someone, somewhere in a boardroom, looked at something you absolutely loved, something you assumed would simply always be there, and decided it was not worth making anymore. And just like that, it was gone. No announcement, no farewell run. One day, it was in the corner shop next to the penny chews and the sherbet fountains. The next day, there was a gap on the shelf where it used to live, and nobody seemed to notice except you. Today, we are going back. 7 sweets and snacks that entire generations of British kids built their happiest memories around. All discontinued, none of them coming back. And if you remember any of these, you already know exactly what kind of grief we are talking about. In the 7th place, Cadbury's Spira. Launched nationwide in 1989, it was a brilliant piece of schoolyard engineering. Wrapped in distinctive red and gold foil, it offered 2 twisted, hollow fingers of milk chocolate. The structure allowed for a lighter bite, an airy crunch, and a melt that hit much faster than a standard solid block. But the real joy lay in the ritual. Every British kid tried using those hollow spirals as a straw, desperately sucking up school-run milk until the chocolate dissolved and collapsed into a glorious, sticky mess. By the time Cadbury quietly discontinued it in June 2005, a staple of childhood play vanished from the shelves. Years of petitions and forum threads still mourn its loss, proving that some shapes stay permanently lodged in our memory. Number 6. The Mars Delight. Arriving in 2004 and vanishing just 4 years later, this was a bar that felt genuinely different, leaving behind a lingering sense of quiet bafflement. Where a standard Mars bar was heavy, dense, and liable to pull out your fillings, the Delight was almost weightless. It was a delicate architecture of rippled wafer layers, pockets of caramel, and a creamy cocoa filling, all wrapped in milk chocolate. It offered a light, shattering crunch that felt like a luxury bought with pocket money. Yet, in 2008, it quietly slipped away, victim to high production costs. Today, it remains the UK's most searched discontinued chocolate bar. Online petitions still gather signatures from fans demanding its return, united by a collective, wistful confusion. We are left asking how something so loved could be allowed to just disappear. In the 5th place, the Nestlé Secret. Launched in 1993, this was a bar that felt less like a quick corner shop treat and more like a private, quiet ritual. Its dark navy and silver wrapper had a grown-up, mysterious quality, standing apart from the bright packaging of the sweet shop shelves. Inside sat a delicate nest of chocolate strands, hiding a soft, mousse-like center that lived somewhere between a rich truffle and a light nougat. It was a texture so difficult to describe, yet so impossible to forget. The bar did not rely on playground gimmicks. It relied on a quiet, sophisticated mystery. By 1998, Nestlé discontinued the bar, dismantling the production line and leaving behind only a lingering memory. Merely hearing the name today triggers a physical recollection of that fragile, shattering chocolate shell. It remains a quiet, beautiful fragment of the late 90s, lost but fiercely remembered. Number 4. Rowntree's Tutti Fruities and their tart, tangy sibling, Fruitangs. This pair represents the very world of the 1980s and the 90s corner shop, where pocket money decisions were governed by the exact weight of a few copper coins. Tutti Fruities were tiny, hard-shelled, barrel-shaped chews nestled inside a small cardboard box. You'd slide the paper flap open, shake them into your hand, and get hit with that intensely artificial, brilliant burst of fruit flavor. Fruitangs occupied that exact same emotional space, flat, translucent, brightly colored strips of sweet chewiness that left your tongue dyed and your teeth ringing. They weren't luxurious, but they were the absolute currency of the school run and the hot afternoon ice cream van. Nestlé quietly axed Tutti Fruities in 2019 after nearly 60 years on shelves, taking with them a specific, dusty sweet childhood ritual. They are gone now, leaving us with only the ghost of a paper box rattle. Coming to the top 3, Cadbury's Dream. White chocolate always had a bit of a reputation problem in the UK, dismissed as a sickly, cheap option for toddlers. But in 2001, Dream changed the rules. It offered something genuinely luxurious. Thick, pale ivory chunks that melted into a velvety, cream-heavy sweetness. It felt like a proper adult indulgence. Yet, after just a year, Cadbury quietly pulled it from British shelves in 2002. What makes this loss sting is the geographic exclusion. It actually still exists. Dream was never discontinued globally. It was exiled. If you walk into a supermarket in Australia today, you will find those iconic blue wrappers sitting casually on the shelves. Knowing it is still out there, perfectly preserved but completely out of reach, turns our childhood nostalgia into a distinct, ongoing grievance. In second place, Walker's barbecue rib. Long before the crisp aisle became crowded with complicated, gourmet flavors, there was the simple comfort of that dark purple packet. Ripping it open unleashed a sweet, smoky, intensely savory seasoning that only loosely resembled real ribs, but worked absolutely perfectly. They left your fingers coated in a slightly sticky, heavily dusted residue, the ultimate salty badge of an after-school corner shop run in the late 90s. The story of barbecue rib carries a distinct sting because of the cruelty of the comeback. After quietly vanishing in the mid-2000s, they returned in limited, tantalizing reissues, only to slip away once more. That second disappearance landed so much harder because the brief reunion reminded fans of exactly what they had been missing. This cycle of reissue and sudden disappearance does not cure our nostalgia. It sharpens the loss, leaving a generation of British snackers with a lingering sense of quiet betrayal. And finally, in first place, Panda Pops. Nothing else quite captures the exact, sun-drenched texture of a British school holiday like these tiny, cheap plastic bottles. They were the undisputed kings of the corner shop bottom shelf, the school fair, and the damp interior of the ice cream van. For a long time, they cost just 10 pence. 10 pence for a shot of pure, unadulterated liquid joy. Even when inflation dragged them up to 20 pence, they still felt like a steal. They didn't look like anything from nature. They were impossible, radioactive colors, vivid greens, electric blues, and intense chemical reds. You would peel back that thin plastic cap and guzzle down flavors like cherryade, strawberry, orange, or the tongue-staining bubblegum, usually right alongside a chocolate feast or a strawberry funny feet. But in 2011, after decades of fueling playground hyperactivity, manufacturer Nichols quietly brought the brand to a halt. The great, tragic irony of Panda Pops is that the exact thing that made them so unforgettable, that brilliant, glowing chemical recipe, was exactly what doomed them, as tighter legislation around artificial colorings swept through the industry. The drinks could not survive a healthier, more sensible world. Their disappearance leaves us with a quiet, lingering question. Why does the loss of a cheap 10-penny plastic bottle feel so permanent? These snacks were the tiny anchor points of our everyday lives, the background noise to school runs and pocket money decisions. If you want to keep exploring the lost corners of our childhood, click over to our video on forgotten British high street shops and tell us in the comments, which discontinued sweet or snack do you still think about? These 7 items prove we aren't mourning mere sugar, but the vanished rituals of a British childhood. They were our pocket money independence, now quietly lost to time. Which defunct snack do you still miss? Tell us below and join us next as we explore our forgotten high street shops.